Hi guys, we have a 2016 GOS 63 AMG and we're changing the air filters or the engine filters. The way you have to do this, you got to take these little caps on each side, they just pull up and put them here. This is where the filters are in these two compartments. You have to take this plastic cover also out. They pull up. Just catch them in the back so you don't break him. Pay respect to the mechanic. His name is Kerim Goyrlik or something, or Kevin. Oh, he put this engine together by himself, so respects to the guy always. I respect him with all my heart. Now here's the situation. This thing has a lot of dirt and dust, so because we're gonna open all of these lines, you don't want this dust getting inside the engine, so make sure you blow all of this out of the way, okay? And the way you get these off, you have to disconnect these hoses. Well, it's already broken. I'm gonna have to tell the customer that these need to be replaced. You have to disconnect these. And you gotta use a pry bar tool to get it inside here. So I use this pry tool to get the plastics out, and this is where they are. I need to get a tripod actually to be able to do this properly, but anyway, I'm trying to show you just the basic steps, and it's the full job actually. So these will come out, the filter is inside here, and they have the T20 or T25 I believe on the bottom, but in order to get these out we need to get these disconnected first, and that's I believe this is an 8mm, and you need to loosen them up. I would probably loosen both of them up and just try to see which one comes out first, because you're gonna need to, I believe, move these a little bit up and down the line in order to install it back. It's actually a 7mm. And because this one here is too far in, I cannot use the 7mm. I'm going to use a flat screwdriver to get it loose. And you just got to be careful to release this little pipe here from the valve covers, the oil return line, and then you just pull this up and you get it released. It looks like he wants to pull with the whole rubber gasket. or the connection. I'll just pull it up and back a little bit, and unfortunately you have to push it, force it, and this is how it comes out, and it's clipped back in on these two rubber mounts. It's these right here. In order to put them back in the right place, actually, piece of advice from me is to grease these rubbers, the rubber mounts, a little bit, so when you slide them in, they actually slide real easy. Okay, we have a sensor in the back here. We have to unclip. I'm gonna use the screwdriver to get it inside here, in this space here, right here, to open the clip. Here we go. It's just right here. Again, you just put it right between the clip and the wall of the sensor, or the plug in the sensor. And now the filter is inside here, and this is a T25, so we have to open these T25s. Looks like it's 4 of them. And again, it's T25. The bolts are not going to fold. They will open and they'll get stuck in this. This is the way they're made. The threads are bigger than the plastic, so no worries about, you don't need to worry about losing bolts. And we open this. Here's the filter. And in this case, somebody actually installed K&N filters, and in this case we're gonna probably need to clean them and give it back to the customer, or we're going to install the new ones. I'm gonna open these and see what's going on, what condition they are. I do not advise installing K&N filters on these cars, especially these wet ones. This looks like a wet one, because they have proven through the years to actually create more problems with engines, and specifically these German cars being very sensitive about adding different things on top of them. And I really don't believe that this filter actually helps that much. Even if it helps, you're not going to see the difference right away, or something significant that you can tell, okay, this filter gave me 30 horsepower. That'll just never happen. But yeah, we already have a setup of brand new filters, and look at the condition of this. So this is the K&N filter. Obviously this is not right. I'm throwing these filters away because they don't work. Don't try to install these K&N filters. Look at the situation here. This is the oil that came out from this filter. So you can imagine the engine struggling to get air, and in what condition this is. Again, Do not install Canon filters on these cars, please. We're gonna install the original paper filters and just replace them every 40-50,000 miles. Okay, I was just discussing this with my friends here. Yeah, this has to be cleaned. This Canon needs to be thrown away. I think the oil from the Canon filter was leaking back in here and created all this mess. This is enormously bad. Hopefully the engine wasn't hurt. It's still running fine, but you don't want that in your engine, and especially on an AMG or any other car for that matter. I'm gonna open this other side. So this thing just twists. That's how it walks. It just twists and then it come out. And I need to take this side out too because I need to clean it the same way. You just push it up and make sure there's nothing connected in the back, and push it up, you take it out. In this case I don't want to take this out because it's connected down here, so I'm gonna disconnect it from here in order to take it out so we can clean it. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to do one hand, but yeah, this is it. Okay, we got another connection, and the same way we need to unclip this. Technically this has to be unclipped with the way you push this out, and then this little white clip, and then you press the clip and it should release. And again, the almighty hook tool, and the way you do it is you press it here, you open it, and it's easier for me to just put the tool inside between the clip and the tool and just kind of pull it, and that's it. It's easier just to do it that way, because these actually are these little, the white clips, or sometimes they're gray. These clips are very brittle. With time the plastic gets brittle and they will break very easy if you just press it too hard. Same way we take the Torx out when we need to already see the oil, so it's coming from that Canon nasty filter, so we need to go and clean these housings. Here we go, second filter. Yeah, I mean, I have no comment. This is disgusting. This is as disgusting as it can get. Look at the dirt. That's the oil that's attracted the dirt, and everything got stuck here. So again, please do not use these Canon filters on these engines, AMGs, Mercedes, and German cars whatsoever. This is just not right. It'll mess up your sensors. Do not use them, because now I've created more work for myself, or somebody else created for me. So I need to go and clean these housings. I'm back again, and it took me actually some time to clean these. I mean, they were so nasty. I had to use the degreaser and a plastic brush. I mean, crazy. So now I'm getting them ready, getting them dry. They're like brand new. Everything's perfect. And we're gonna install the MAN filters. That's the part number on these. Of course, they're made in Germany. That's usually MAN is the OEM manufacturer for the German vehicles, or you have a couple more companies, but I like MAN. So these are the filters. They're ready to be installed in the housing. The housings are dry and ready. Again, make sure that this is also clean. It looks like everything is clean. Make sure you put some grease on these mounts. Again, don't forget them. Actually, that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to do just a little bit of grease, because it will help you when you install these. They will go right in, and I've seen before when they get stuck on these and they just bend these metal installation brackets and they don't want to go in. and they're actually pretty sturdy. I think they're made with some strong metal, and if you bend them, then you may end up having some trouble trying to get them straight again. But here we go. Remember, extra detail, extra steps, these little small steps that actually make a huge difference for you and the next person that's going to work on this car. Okay, we're ready to install these. Make sure that they actually fit properly inside the box. They need to go a little bit down in the slot. You see, they fit. They have to fit perfectly, going down in the slots. Same way here. Push them a little bit down, because otherwise the box will not close. Sometimes they get stuck and they don't want to close. But right now they're perfectly in, and we just need to install the caps, the upper parts. Now, since the bolts are on this side, you have to do it this way, and so this goes like this, and I think we have them reversed because they're not fitting. Let me see what's going on here. Okay. Yes, because these two lines are in one direction. That's not going to fit. That is the other side. So we need to make sure that these fit properly. And remember, these pipes, they have to go in one direction. And this is where it's going to fit. Yep. Here we go. Make sure they're in the hole. And when you time, make sure you don't over tie these, because they tend to strip the plastic. So when you do it, just start it first. Just start them first, and then you can tie them. Okay, this is the last one. When it stops, that's it. Don't over time. Again, that's it. That's it. And that's it. You can try by hand. Yep. And you can do it slowly with these power tools. You don't need to strip them or force them. Just slowly and careful. Or you can do them by hand. Again, same direction. And make sure everything is in the holes. Yep. Everything is good. Same way. You start them. And you start them first. Okay, now I'm getting them tight. Again, just as soon as you feel the resistance, you just stop. That's it. That's it. Okay, and these are ready to go. Piece of advice to help yourself: always put a smudge of grease on this part here and the rubbers on the inside. This will help you tremendously. Again, a smudge of grease right here. Since we have it on already on this side, I may pull it and just put a little bit of grease just in case. And you can put a little bit of grease on this part here because it's going to help you with the rest of the plastics. And this is what you do. Just a light smudge, nothing crazy. Same way here. Not too much, just a little bit. The same way. It's just here, and then a little bit on the inside. And you can feel how the rubber is resisting the plastic. That's when you hear those creaking sounds. But once you put this little bit of grease, this just a little bit of smudge, it'll help you to install everything back in. Okay, remember this little sensor, so it goes on this side here and in the back, so you can actually clip it right now. Remember the open clip you need to install first, then you clip it, and then you press the white piece, and then you can actually put the box in here. You need to put the wire where it goes into these slots here. Right here and right here, and you're gonna have to maneuver this rubber connection. You can actually install this first here. Okay, no. So what happens sometimes, these don't want to go in. So you have to make sure they're actually properly in. So make sure that they're in. You push it in, then you have to kind of guide it. It's right there, and this is where the rubber goes in here, the mount. So this is gonna go over it, but make sure you first lift it up in the back so you can actually guide it inside the rubber connection here. And then you can get it in. Here we go. You see that this is so easy, just extremely easy, because I put that smudge of grease, and here we go. I mean, I'm doing this with one hand, okay, one hand, and this is in. The guide, the stopper guide is this ridge here, so you can push this rubber to stop here. Where it stops, this is where the limit is. And don't forget to install this back in right here and twist it to the left and down, and don't forget to install the wire here again in these slots. We have the black tape, that's where it fits. And last thing is the number 7 or the 7mm ratchets. So there we go, 7mm, and when it stops, you release it. Actually, let me check this. I like to check these by hand. So try and use an extension. And just try to, these would be easier to check by hand, because the power tool may end up over screwing these. So I'm just going to release them a little bit, make sure they're in the right spot. Yeah, it seems like, wow, they're pretty tight. Okay, I just want to move them a little bit higher. Yeah, everything seems to be fine. And now I'm gonna get them tied by hand. Don't over time, just stop at some point where you feel some resistance, and same way for the second one. When you start feeling resistance, that's it. And then you double check your work, because this connection is very important. It needs to be closed. Double check again, you tap on everything. You tap on everything. You always double check your work. So this is fine. And now we go to the second one. Now I'm gonna need my 2 hands, because it's just not gonna be easy. Or maybe, let me try. We need to get this first here, connect it. It already has oil, so it shouldn't be that difficult. And since we used a little bit of grease, this should go in. It went in very easy. You can maneuver these to help you to fit them in the guides. These are the specific guides where these fit, and you can kind of twist it up so you can install this. And don't forget the center in the back, the same way it fits here. This is a short one. Oh, it looks like somebody already broke the white piece. Yeah, just like I told you, they get very brittle and they break. I'm gonna have to do this by hand, meaning I cannot see what I'm touching, but I can feel it. Okay, it clipped. And the next thing is you push it back, you push it back up. So you guide this pipe here, and again try to make sure that it goes into the rubber first. it will give you some resistance because it's trying to catch on both sides because of these ledges here. Okay, yep, here we go. When it goes in, it goes in. You know, it went in. And now you just push, and here we go. Because we had the grease on the rubber mounts, you tap it to make sure that's where it goes. Again, you push in to stop at the ledge here, and now we can do this by hand. Let me try to position my camera. Where's this thing? It's right here. Okay. So, okay, and I'm gonna tie this by hand. Again, make sure it's all the way in, and get it tight. When you feel resistance, then you stop. And the same way for the second one. I'm gonna leave it outside this time of this metal bracket here, so it actually helps the next person to open it easier, because the previous mechanic that did the job let this bolt down under the bracket, so that's why I had to use the flat screwdriver. I don't like doing that. It could be me the next time doing this job again, so I'm thinking about myself first, and of course then anybody else. But here we go. And again, you check, you thoroughly check your work, you double check, you smack everything, and then you install those pieces here on these sides. That's very easy, you know what to do. And this is the actual job. So again, okay, so I just installed these, and of course don't forget the plastic covers. This just goes back here, and they clip in those little slots. Just push them by hand, slow, easy. I'm gonna wash this engine before we release it, because this is just disrespectful. It's nasty. I like clean engines, and anyway, it helps you to diagnose problems later in time. And this is the last little covers. Okay, so that's the job. Again, 2016 Mercedes GLS 63 AMG. Very nice, beautiful trucks. I love these trucks. And that was a engine filter or motor filter, air filter replacement. Again, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.